Josh. I can see you there. So we'll be starting now, and I just want to use this opportunity to appreciate everyone that has been patient to join with us. So we're trying to make everything perfect on our end, so we can start as soon as possible. All right. So as you all know, this is a workshop that entails that speaks more about land verification and acquisition in Nigeria. So we have two major states we are focusing on. One of them is Abuja, and the other one is in Lagos State. So we'll be diving you into how we can verify our land in Lagos State and how we can verify land and acquire land in Abuja. So I have a colleague here, Surveyor Yinka Jambaoda. He is also is a registered surveyor practicing in Lagos State. He has been with Geoinfotech for years now, and he has been one of our major surveyor in Lagos State. He had the surveying department in Lagos State, and will be speaking to us about how to apply GIS technology and surveying aspects to land acquisition and land verification. Okay, you use this medium to I'll use this medium to appreciate your Yinka Jinoboda to speak to us. Now we'll be live streaming and also showing the video clip of our background as well of everyone around over here. All right, over to Sobio Yinka Jinoboda.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Please, I'd like to know if
Morning.
I believe we are getting ready. Then, okay, someone has signified that he or she can hear me. Being way being so I want to welcome. I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2023 workshop, Geometry workshop. And how I have titled my own presentation is Applied Geoinformation Technologies in Land Matters. And I want to believe everyone can see the screen. Okay, okay. Now we are back online. I was just asking that I hope everyone can see the screen on the sharing. Someone said, please, we can't hear you. Please, Anolu John, please, you can listen again now. We had a network error just now, and we are. You know what I am saying? Welcome back on everyone. Sorry, we are still trying to battle with our network issues. Uh, I believe everyone can see my screen now. And I said I have titled my own slide as Applied Geoinformation Technologies in Land Matters. How do we apply geoinformation technology in land matters? And moving forward, what are the things we need to do in order for us to ensure that our land records are safe, or before even putting out what are the things we need to carry out before doing that transfer, before doing that transfer? So this is the reason why we are here today. So and okay. So moving forward, my first slide is Applied Geoinformation Technologies in Land Matters, a presentation for Geoinfotech Workshop, November 2023. My name is Mr. Jambauda. I'm a member of the Nigerian Institute of Surveyors. That's why you see MNIS. Yes, I am the resident surveyor for Lagos, the Infotech office in Lagos. I'm a resident surveyor. Then, before I move forward, I am going to just summarize everything that we are here to do today in 5 minutes or even less than 5 minutes. Today, we are going to be looking at the possibility of geoinformation science, or what are the advantages that geoinformation science offer to individuals or to professionals, and how can we use geoinformation science or geoinformation technology to our benefit or to our advantage. Then before I said it as well that we want to try and link geoinformation technologies to land matters. Then if we are able to link that, what are the things we need to do? What are the findings we need to do in order for us to buy a land that at the long run will not end up losing such land? What are the things, what are the due diligences we need to carry out? So we're going to be discussing that today as well. And I was able to mention some ministries that we can get all these things carried out. And mind you, we're focusing on the case study of Lagos, because I believe it is almost like every process or the steps are almost like the same everywhere, except for Abuja that has might have a kind of slightly different process. But thank God we have Surveyor Etuk, Anit Etuk, that is going to be teaching us on the things we need to take note of when we are buying land in Abuja as well. So from step one, how do we visualize our landed property, to the searches that we need to carry out, the due diligence that we need to carry out in order to purchase a land that is free from government acquisition? If it is within government acquisition, which kind of acquisition are we talking about? Then can we ratify? Can we do this and that? There are so many terms like that we use. So my page 2. I want to next one slide. Please. The slide is not moving to the next page. Now we have to check the PowerPoint from here. Okay, we've not been on any of the last two. Okay. So can anyone see my screen still? Please, can we see this? Yes. Okay. So this is my outline, and I have land survey and geospatial insights. Then cadastral surveying and other branches. What are the other branches of surveying? Then do you need a land? What are the tools? What are the don'ts? Understanding value stats. What are the things to check? Then the steps to determine land validity. Where to visit? Land use status verification at Office of the Surveyor General of the state or at Ministry of Lands. Then land use analysis. What specific land use is suitable for what purpose and why? So this is the outline that we're going to go through today. Then I am not going to spend too much time because what we're about to present today is common knowledge. But there's a need for us to bring it back to our notice, our memory, so that we don't get to forget things that we're supposed to do before we purchase the land. And I believe because it's kind of technically different from some other states, and there are some things that we make sure that we check before buying a land. So some months ago, or let's say some weeks ago rather, there are some buildings that were demolished in some part of Lagos. The offense, they built on waterway, like on a canal, and things like this, or anomalies like this. I know Lagos really spare things like this. So hence there's a need for us to check. After checking for the sake of our land, we still need to go ahead and check if we're not building on public facilities. So my definition of geographic information science says it can be described as a system for capturing, storing, for checking, integrating, manipulating, analyzing, displaying data spatially to the Earth's surface. So majorly what we do at the Infotech, we are surveying and geoinformation science company, and we use GIS a lot, information technology a lot. If GIS is described as a system for capturing, storing, checking, integrating, manipulating, analyzing, and displaying data which are specially referenced, we have one of the key data or key concerns maybe I am acquiring a land. How do I fix the position? Like how do I get my land measured how do I put it on the paper? How do I put a title on the land? So GIS will come in this aspect, or let me say information technology will come in this aspect, because the information technology involves merging the information science with surveying, whereby you're able to use highly sophisticated instruments in order to acquire data, in order to process and display data, for it to be very meaningful. What are the functions of GIS? GIS, or the information technology, can be used to acquire data, like that are especially reference to surveys of the health. Then you can save this data set, you can manipulate and edit, and you can further display and present results to your clients for decision making. Now, surveying is the technique and science of accurately taking measurements of position of points, size, and shapes of specially referenced features which are appropriately represented in scale on paper. Surveying will take care of the aspect of the field work that we carry out. Then acquire data from our instrument, it may be weather station, it may be differential GNSS receiver, it may be some other sophisticated instruments. We carry out this field work in order to like accurately, at least not it is accurate. I know some people that will just go to like another they are not good enough when you need to carry out a precise point position fixing. So hence I always advise when going to the field, always use highly sophisticated and precise instruments in order to fix the position of our landed properties. Then on the surveying, there are so many branches of surveying. We have topographical surveying, we have geodesy, we have hydrography, we have some other aspects, some like engineering, and we have mining surveying. But what we are really like today is cadastral surveying, because it is a type of surveying that is carried out for the purpose of registration of title to our land. This aspect is that concerns almost everyone. Cadastral surveying. Every one of us wants to buy land. When we buy the land, we want to like carry out the survey. We don't want to waste our investment, carry out the survey. We want to like ensure that we are the rightful custodian of the land. But before we buy that land, there are so many things that we have to carry out. So many things we have to do. So let's keep coming closer. My next slide says we need to purchase a land. Number one, carry out researches on the land to landed properties. Then when we talk about search, what are the things that we need to do? Number one is ask questions from the people who owns the land. Like, ensure you meet with those that are the owners of the land. Ensure that you ask questions that you want to speak with people that are the owner of the land. Then lawyers engage a lawyer, because lawyers usually ask to know the origin and genuine ownership of the land. And they usually make further investigations from the community members who may have useful information about the land. Please, this is part of due diligence that we are supposed to always do before buying our land. Ask questions from the family who owns the land. Engage a lawyer, because the lawyer will not just ask questions from the family who owns the land. They might come back and disguise and still come and ask community members about the origin, the history of the land, and they will be able to like advise us appropriately on whether to buy the land or not to. Then ask the comments from any existing document. What are the existing documents that the owner of the land has on the land? What are the titles? Do they have a sort of land? Do they have R of O or C of O? R of O is right of occupancy, C of O is right of occupancy. Do they have any deed of assignment, transfer, deed of gifts, and all like that? These are the states is going to carry out. Then my next slide is understanding valid land documents. What are the things to check? It is no doubt that we need a survey plan or a site plan at least to begin with. A site plan is not enough. A survey plan is a good place to start, while it is still not enough because one of the apex documents, like the highest documents that you can get from your landed property is a sea of code. So, but before we get to this stage, we must have done our search, we must have engaged a lawyer to ask questions about the land. Then, if all the findings that the lawyer, if they are okay, I think the next thing we will do is to engage a surveyor. When you engage a surveyor, they are the ones that will like be able to accurately delineate or to define your landed property boundary. And surveyors usually work hand in hand with the sellers of the land or the landowners that they have, they are the original sellers, they are the owners of the land. They will be able to tell the boundary that they are selling to Mr. A. Then you bring in your surveyor to delineate the land for you by using high precision instruments. When all this while, I have talked about making that transfer. Please do not do that transfer yet. Call your surveyor to measure the land out using high precision instruments. Then, when they measure the land out, they carry out processing, data cleaning. Next slide, please. The surveyor carries out data cleaning and processing. Okay, thank you. So a surveyor is supposed to carry out data cleaning, data processing for us. Then we have sets of coordinates, maybe 5, maybe 6, depending on the shape of your land. Then I'll pause it at that. The surveyor has the coordinates of the land due to the field. I have a slide that is saying visualizing the land of interest. How do you visualize your property? Like you just want to have an idea of where your land is. You probably check for the developments that are around the land that you're about to purchase. So one software that and to always use is Google Earth. When you launch Google Earth, for those that have it installed on the system, when you launch your Google Earth, and you can easily just type in the name of your area, and the surveyor can just help you load coordinates that he has acquired on the field. From this slide, you can see there is one PL Surulere here, close to this yellow placement mark. I was just able to use it to check for a certain property within this area. So a quick check can be carried out with the use of Google Earth for office-based measurement and extraction of coordinates can also be carried out. The coordinates may be converted to UTM or other coordinate system using Francing. Then Google Earth is no doubt a go-to app for surveyors, and it is believed to be frequently updated. So now, how do I determine this is one of the parts that carries a lot of weight for this workshop? How do I determine the validity of the land of interest? How do I determine? What are the things to do? Number one, engage the surveyor to carry out field data acquisition or data. The surveyor to acquire data for you, measure out the land. Then the surveyor, number two, the surveyor carries out data formatting and plotting, and in most cases, just as a sketch, professional copy is produced. Then we want to, because we are talking about validity of the land, we want to check for the status of the land. Now, the positioning of your land is no more in question if you have engaged the right person, professional, which is a surveyor. So the positioning is no more in question as we speak, because you have engaged a surveyor to carry out data acquisition for you. So the next thing will be for the surveyor to produce the provisional plan, which is like a sketch of the site. All this while I'm still saying we have not transferred money to Okwele or to Monbale or to any seller at all, because we want to ensure that the land we want to buy is free from any encumbrances by the government. It is a land that we can buy and relax and chill and rest. It is a land that we can buy and develop. It is a land we can buy and further resell in the future. So these are the steps, or these are the things we need to carry out to ensure that we buy lands that are valid. We don't buy lands that belong to the government or the lands that are falling within government acquisition. Then the surveyor would have produced a provisional copy of the land for you carrying your name. Then we apply for charting information from the Office of the State Surveyor General. There is a form to pick up there. Then we fill the form and we attach the provisional copy or the site plan or a site sketch to the charting information application form. Then we work on this or at the Office of the Surveyor General for like a week or two, and they get back to you with an official letter confirming the status of the land you are about to buy. So we are trying to project. Please give us a few seconds. So I hope so far what we have talked about, we have been able to like at least sync everything that we have talked about. If there are questions, please note them down. At the end of the presentation, we will take questions. Or are there questions now? Let me address maybe two or one question before we're able to like finish up with the projection that we're carrying out. Are there questions there? Is there anyone that seems to be confused? Anyone that is lost in any way?
This is where you.
No. Next slide. Next slide. Okay.
Sit down here, sit down here. I didn't ask you to touch any book there. Sit down here and read. Sit down.
Okay. So you're welcome back. I don't know. Are there questions? Has anyone asked any questions? I'm not sure. Okay, so we can continue after the presentation. Then we'll take questions. So, having gone to the field, then prepared the original plan, then picked up a form, application form at the Office of the General, and then they come for a week or a week and a half, and we have the results. Mostly called chatting for confirmation in some states like Kwara and maybe Ekiti also. We call it chatting for confirmation. Lagos we call it chatting information. And it carries the true status of the land. Or there are some evidences, screenshots that I have prepared that I've added to this slide. That is going to like give us an insight of everything that we're talking about. We've talked about application for chatting information, then the result, which is going to be a confirmation letter for the chatting information, which carries the status of the land. Then we also verify that the land is not on any public facility or on any right of way. Then we ensure that the land is not blocking canals, it is not blocking any waterway, it is not lying on gas line, on pipeline, on railway line, network, road network, highway, proposed project, airport, etc. We are also to ensure that we make findings on the standard and the approved number of terraces to be built in such location, especially from Ministry of Physical Planning, which all the town planners do a lot. Then, if all this due diligence is carried out, then one is a step forward. So I have some important screenshots to document here. This survey plan was signed by me, and it was when we used to put the status of the land on survey plan. So this was produced by me from Surveyors Council of Nigeria, SOCON, and they issue out number for us, and we used these SOCON numbers to sign this survey plan. Then if you look at it, the title, I had to remove the title for security reasons, and the address at Muko Town, Ibejuleki local government, is a part of Lagos. Then it was produced with a scale of 1 in 500. Then the total area of the land is 500.600 square meters, and the origin is UTM zone 31 because Lagos is classified as zone 31. And you see the status of the land as land free from known government acquisition. Then we have the starting coordinate here, which is the northern and the eastern starting coordinate. You see, we have the proposed road network that is linking the plots. So we have a proposed road network here, we have another one here, and we have the seal, the second seal, so let's cancel on that seal here. And the name of the company is written here, Infotech Resources Limited. The plan number is also written as well. The name of the surveyor is also important. The surveyor that signs the land, the name is to be like boldly written, legibly written on the survey plan, the plan number, the date it was signed, the signature of the surveyor. But for I had to just remove some parts. So this says a typical cadastral survey plan that is similar to site plan. Site plan is almost like the same thing with this way. The only difference, the only thing that differentiates site plan is that it will not carry second number. Site plan can only carry maybe PL1, PL2, Pillar 3, Pillar 4, and 5. But it is still a sketch. But when we are able to like acquire our data correctly with high precision, the site plan can also be turned when you pay the necessary money to SOCON, to the institution, that's NIS and to PPSN and all like that. You can easily just sign a site plan as a survey plan, but it depends on the kind of instrument that you use. Because when some people go to the site, for a site plan, they only go to the site with handheld GPS. And if you want to like register a survey plan that was acquired with handheld GPS, it is not good enough. So it is advised that we use high precision instrument to carry out our field work, process the data, and pay necessary dues, pay necessary money into deposit and all, then before we're able to sign it. So now, after we have been able to carry out all this from step 1 to step 8, if the result, the status of the land, which is number 4, comes out to be free from known government acquisition or it is not encumbered in any way, that is when you can make the transfer and buy the land. Please ensure that all other things are checked. It is not, the land is not on waterway, it is not on any public facility, and it has been confirmed that this true source of the land is free from any known government acquisition, then you can buy the land. When you buy, please, Lagos, because Lagos is so dynamic in so many ways. When you buy a land, do not just buy and go and relax and keep. Do the necessary documentations. Like this man, Folajomi, that used to drop code, that used to drop like content you see online. You see, it is not advisable for you to buy land and not do the documentation. It is like buying a car without registering it. Nigerian police will use your eyes and see trouble. So when you buy a land, do not relax. Do the papers, do the present, like do the documentation, obtain your C of O, then you can now relax. Even if government will need the land in the nearest future, they will request for some documents that you have, and they'll get to compensate you, maybe usually for like at least being the original owner of the land with valid documents. Another slide says a vector a vector 4 workspace for position checking. In Lagos, we have something we call vector 4, which almost like all the surveyors in Lagos we used to carry out our cadastral work. We used to check for the correctness of the work that we carry out. So when you go to a site and use accurate instruments to carry out your data acquisition. Then you balance at the office, you plot it out to check maybe it's a 4 corner or the 6 corner property. Then after plotting, then you take it to vector environment. Vector was developed. I think this was as far back as some years ago. An aircraft was flown all over the whole of Lagos. It was processed and digitized, and we have almost all the parcels that are in Lagos, and it is being updated as we speak as well. So you plot out those 4 points on the vector map, then you're able to like check for the position or to correct the position if they are wrong of the land that you have plotted or that you want to like register. So with vector data or vector platform, you're able to like be sure of the positioning of your parcel of land. So this is like a screenshot showing some part of Ikeja. You see these areas that we have yellow lines, these are acquired and these are airports. And some other parts that are outside, they are built up area. People that have acquired land, they have their fence, they have their buildings, and they are being shown close to the airports. So the next thing is, so now the next screenshot that I've made is a land chart, like showing the workspace for checking the status of the land. This land chart is what Lagos State uses in order to check for the status of your land. Is it free from government acquisition? Is it within an acquisition? If it's a certain acquisition, if it is a certain acquisition, if it is a certain acquisition, what are the kind of acquisition? Is it an acquisition that can be ratified? Is it within acquisition? Does it have a court judgment? Is it a gazette? And so lots of acquisition like that. So this very workspace, or it is where we majorly check for the status of the land. And I am sure that the Office of the Surveyor General, they have a much more detailed land chart, because when we carry out our own check, we end up sending it to the Office of the Surveyor General as well, the data, the coordinate, in order for them to verify for us or apply for official charting information to have a valid status of the land we're about to purchase. So if all these are cleared, then we are like more than a step forward in order to purchase that our dream land. Then this is the local government map of Lagos State. This is used to check for which local government is your land exactly falling? Is it falling within the Ikeja local government? Is it Badagry, Epe? Is it Koshofe? Is it Lagos Island, Lagos mainland, Etiosa local government, and so on like that? So when you acquire data from the field, you can easily plot out the point and be able to tell which local government is your land falling. I have done a few jobs for some clients that they claim their land is falling within Ifakwejaye local government. After acquiring my data accurately, I went back to check on local government map and I am seeing Ikeja local government. Yes, ma'am, your land is falling within a high profile area. So we should like celebrate it. It is worth celebrating, even though the documentation for Ikeja local government will be slightly different from Ikeja local government. But then that is where your land is falling, and we have to do necessary due diligence and do the appropriate things in order for you to get your document. So the next thing, this is like a cropped out charting information results. And it says Lagos State government without prejudice 28/10/2022, and they have their ref there, application for charting information. It says I am directed to acknowledge the receipt of your letter that is dated 24th of October 2022, requesting for information on the above subject matter. And I am supposed to, like, this letter is to inform us accordingly that one, the document is issued for information only and should not be used to process any title. Then the information is provided does not validate or authenticate attached plan number. It's just a provisional copy that was produced in order to carry out checks on the status of the land. And it says this also, so dated also that the charting of the coordinate quoted on the boundary of the plan reveals that the subject site falls within Lagos State government revocation or regularization area. There are so many things like excision, like regularization, revocation, ratification, so many laws within government mixed development and all and sort of like that. So when any of your land falls within this area, there's a need for us to now seek advice, like seek clarification if you are not sure. But this very land falls within regularization area, which means you can buy. But when you buy, you will carry out regularization C of O. By that I mean there are some certain amount of money that you need to pay to the government to ratify in order for you to have a C of O for that area, like a token, something that when they attach the document or the receipts that you have used to pay, then they can grant you C of O, or it is called regularization C of O. So this is a charting information, it's a sample. I have had to remove some other parts for security reasons because these documents are highly confidential documents. So for land use, a land use is often described as the purpose a land is designed for or purpose to be used for. What are the land use classes? Can be residential, can be for agricultural use, can be for industrial, can be for commercial, can be for mixed development. Lands that are for residential, it's been classified, and we have this existing land use map of a certain area. You know the land use classes. What are the lands that are uh, delineated or designated for residential purpose? What are the lands that are supposed to be used for farming? What are the lands that are mainly for industrial purpose, like Ogba Industrial Estate? The land in that area is majorly for industrial purpose. What are the lands that are for commercial purpose? Some lands around trade fair, they are like specifically like for commercial purpose, for building shops, for building some other commercial purpose facilities. Mixed development land, can we have residential? Can we still have a commercial purpose plot around this area? etc. So now, I think this is the end of my slide, but I will go back again that and remind us that before we transfer that money, ensure you carry out due diligence. Involve a lawyer to ask questions, to carry out search for you. Involve a surveyor to ensure that they carry out proper field data acquisition. The surveyor is supposed to produce a site sketch for you. The surveyor uh, takes the sketch to office of the surveyor general to check for the sources of the land by applying for charting information. Then, still in at the office of the surveyor general, you can check whether that land is not on any canal or any public facilities, or is not blocking any right of gas line, pipeline, and any highway or any waterways. Ensure that you have done all this due diligence, and if all these are checked and we are fine with what that we have gotten or the response that we have gotten, then that's when I would advise that you make the transfer for the land. Thank you for listening, and do not forget to do due diligence before transferring that money. Thank you for listening, everyone. Okay, I am done with the presentation. Are we taking questions now, or we taking? Okay, you can ask questions now, or you type the questions on the chat. We take the questions.
All right. So, if anybody have a question, you can raise your hand or unmute your mic, or you can type the question on the chat area. We have the link on the website. We also have it live streamed on YouTube. We have it on Google Meet. So if you are with us, joining us on Google Meet, you can ask any question, or if you have any question you want to send to the WhatsApp group, the phone number of the WhatsApp group will be displayed on the chat area, or to be displayed on the slide as well. So if you have any question, you can ask on the phone number on your screen there, or you can send a message on the chat area, or you can send a message, or by unlocking your mic, you can speak out on the meeting. If anybody have any question on the land use, before we move to the next presenter, that's surveyor. Let's Okay, so we have a question here. Someone said, nice presentation so far. Please, can you give me more information about this land chat workspace? So I'll be handing over to Surveyor Yinka Jambauda.
Okay, the question is, can we give more information about land chat workspace? Okay, about land charts. The government of every state is almost like the custodian of land in all the states. The land, by Land Use Act, has invested or conferred all the power to own land, to manage land, to allocate land on the government, federal government, and state government by extension. So, if a government is supposed to like, in order for the government to have a proper um, a proper control on the land, government has prepared a base map for the whole of the state, which is Lagos. I'm being specific now. Government prepared a base map for the whole of the, it mapped out of the state, and there are plans. just like we have a master plan for Abuja, we have a master plan for some other states. So government has delineated some certain lands for some certain use. So no individual is advised to just wake up one day, go and meet some families and say we want to buy 50 hectares, we want to buy 10 hectares. So before anything, an individual is supposed to carry out check on the landed property that you want to buy. And these acquisitions, the acquisition or the master plan, everything is with like actually like well kept with them at the office of the Surveyor General of the state in Lagos. So they have the land chart. Government has prepare the base map for the entire state, and I am sure there are master plan that will follow. So this master plan is what is guiding everyone as to what we would do. What are the places that we can buy land? What are the places we cannot? Everything is all planned out. We put airport in the area of where Lagos Business School, Lekki Free Trade Zone, this Dangote Free Trade Zone, and some other land uses like that. So on this land chart, a much more detailed land chart is at the office of the General of the State. You can, I think they have in Ministry of Lands as well, Bureau of Lands as well. So in order for us to check for this of land, all these things are there for them to use and check. There are some areas that you cannot go. There are some areas you can go. There are some areas that belong to the government. You can pay certain amount of money, X amount of money in order for you to process document on such lands. So on land chart information, that is the information that I can give. I hope that is clear enough. Next question, please. Anyone wants to ask question? When you speak, you hear. Please, if you have question, you may not have, you may speak. You may. Okay. Come on.
All right, so I'll be making the next, calling out for the next presentation. The next speaker, that will be Surveyor Etuk. Okay, so before that, I think we have a new question. We have someone asking, just a minute, let me bring up the question. So we have, what is the difference between land charts information and land information? Surveyor Yinka. So one of our attendees is asking, what is the difference between land charts information and land information?
Land chart information.
And land information.
It's just land chart information. Land information. See, I will remove the land that is with land chart information. I think charting information is not simply charting information. We know they're referring to land anyway. So charting information and land information are different. Okay, this is the difference. Charting information comes first before you get land information. Charting information is before you buy that land, is what you carry out. I share that screenshot on the system, screenshot of the charting information. So I put in my slide. Maybe when the system comes 6 8. Charting information is just official charting information, just supposed to give us the status of the land. Maybe you have that money, that 50 million in your account. The 50 million is in your account, and there's a need for you to buy land. One quick check that you will carry out is charting information, or land charting information as the case. So that charting information is just supposed to give us the status of the land, free or not, this and that. But before you can get land information, you must have probably purchased that land. After purchasing the land, then you must have done a proper survey. After doing the proper survey, your surveyor must have lodged the survey to have evidence of lodgement. Then after that, that's when land information can now be carried out. It is much more detailed than land chart information. So land information is much more detailed, but this is mostly can only be carried out after a survey has been done, after lodgement has been done, then before you have your land information. It throws more light on your charting information, a much more detailed status of the land. Almost everything that you need to know about land. Even if your survey is not properly done, land information will tell you that part of your land is falling on someone's property, something they call adjoining property, more like the land that you and I own. Adjoining property, that's like Yoruba, adjoining property, something like adjoining property. Your land is supposed to be here, another person's land is supposed to be after your own line, but yours is like overlaying on another person's property. That's when I said, you see, people at the office of the Surveyor General, they are not playing. They know their work. So when you as a surveyor, when they call you and you can use their GPS to carry out survey for them, at the long run, if the owner of the land wants to like acquire much more, like acquire document like C of O, R of O, these are the stages that they're supposed to pass through. If you have done a survey that is not properly done, that you have not used the necessary instrument, then that's when you discover that your land is falling on Mr. X property, and they tell you that you should go back to site, go and carry out another survey, reproduce another plan, withdraw the old evidence of lodgement, resubmit another one, then reapply for the land information. And you can only do this in less than a month and a half or in 2 months. So that's the difference between land chart information or charting information and land information. Thanks. Are there more questions? Ask questions. You teacher or you are all good listeners. Questions now. Don't go and transfer that hard money. I was telling someone that if you transfer your money without doing due diligence on your land, then I would assume that the money is not at end. You may just never see. And when I said that to someone, I said maybe the money is not at end. Because for us to make $1 million, we do the kind of stuff before, and then you now want I said land is your money says the land is free. Can you transfer that money? It's either it is not at end, or probably maybe not like have the necessary information. Things that you're supposed to do. Someone called me to chat the land for him just to say, when I chatted the land, he said it's going on. Built out already. I've chatted, he said there's much. About building the public commission. So, son of God, please don't transfer the money. And you don't want to trend on Instagram because you built your land or whatever. waterway or gas management. We're tired of seeing houses being demolished. I saw one very massive house yesterday or yesterday. Please, give this agency very, very.
All right, I'll use this opportunity to appreciate Surveyor Yinka Jambao that he has really enlightened us about the benefits of using a surveyor or a GIS specialist to chart or verify your land and also acquire your land. We'll be transferring this presentation now to Surveyor Etuk. Surveyor Etuk will be expecting your presentation. You can share your screen. I'll be sharing the screen for Surveyor to cover here. If you can share your screen, you can also let us know, or if you cannot, you can also chat on the chat area. Just some minutes for Surveyor Etuk. So Surveyor Etuk will be telling us more about how to verify your land if you are in Abuja. The same process of verifying your land in Lagos is different from Abuja. So if you're in Abuja, to verify your land or to know if your land is valid or to acquire your land in Abuja is different. It's quite different from Lagos State. So we'll be expecting Surveyor Etu.
Hello, can you hear me now? Good, good morning, everybody. If you can hear me, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Can everybody hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can.
Okay, we can. Okay, good. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe can you help me to share my screen because I can't
Okay.
share from here.
So we're sharing the slide from here. I don't know if Surveyor Etu is able to share a slide
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah.
there.
Let's share from there. Share from there.
Okay, we'll be sharing it from here for Surveyor
Mm.
Etuk. In the next 1 minute, we'll be presenting for Surveyor Etuk. All right, so we use this opportunity to invite Surveyor Etuk. Surveyor Etuk is the head of surveying departments at Geoinfotech in Abuja. Is the one that manages and ensure all the activities for surveying in Abuja is done properly. So Surveyor Etuk is also a registered surveyor and also a GIS expert and remote sensing expert. He also is a drone pilot as well, and will be talking to us about how to acquire or verify your land in Abuja. All right, over to you, Surveyor Etuk.
Okay, before the screen comes up, um, in the way land is in Abuja is quite different from where Lagos is. Uh, in Abuja generally, because since the era of El, where all the land was captured and already put into layout, everything has already been like predetermined on the by ages then. So what is actually obtainable in FCT now is just is what we call re-establishment. We don't really do a real survey because the survey component has already been done with all the necessary beacons on ground. In fact, with all the generated coordinates for all the plots, irrespective of the cadastral zone or the area, they have already been done. But the only thing that we do in survey in Abuja here is to get the coordinates of what is already on ground, and go on ground and re-establish those coordinates the same way they are on the approved layout of either any particular zone or any particular cadastral zone. And in Abuja, the way land is being divided, they are divided into zones depending on the area, the as built or land use structure in Abuja. For example, if those that are living in Wuse, you have something like cadastral zone A04. Those that in Maitama, cadastral zone A02. Those within like somewhere like Lugbe, cadastral zone E04. So it depends on where you are. Every zone, every cadastral zone has its own unique. And the way it's been done, all plots have already been surveyed. All you just need to do is to pick up the coordinates of the points as a surveyor, reference it to the necessary approved coordinate lists, and do your re-survey or re-establishment, as the name is called, is being referenced. So we do more of re-establishment in Abuja than just the normal survey. But be it as it may, even after the re-establishment, you are expected to produce a survey plan, take it back to the FCDA, that's Federal Capital Development Authority, so that it can be revalidated as a surveyor. So that is where the major work of the surveyor does. That's what the surveyor does. So please, can you help me with the slide, because it's like my phone cannot telling me I cannot share my screen at the moment.
All right, you can check the screen now. Change
All right.
this. Like,
Okay.
can you see it from your end?
Yeah. I can see from my end. Yes, I can see from my end now. So now, generally, we will just look at uh, some things that we have already talked about. Land as land title as itself, and other things that are required for you to know how the process that's involved to get a particular land, and also how to verify the land within Abuja here. Even though the much of the land is being are being resurveyed, that is what we normally call it in Abuja here, because everything about that, every information about the land is already uh, available for you to use. The only difference is that the points are not on ground, but the information about the plot is already archived in the Abuja Geographical Information System, or in the Federal Capital Development Authority, or most times within the area councils. So now when we look at the lands, as we can see, there are laws governing lands ownership, which are very complex, depending on the type of land, the scale, and other things that are involved within the property. A land title or certificate of title is a formal document that aligns the right of a person or people to hold a piece of land. A title can also be held prospective, also help prospective possessors and land owners understand more about the existing laws or items, using the right necessary resources at their right beck and call. So it depends on what you want to do on your land title. You can always there are laws that governing the purchase of land. So you have to know the laws. You don't assume that everything is always by the lawyer. Even you as a person, you are supposed to know what it entails for you to get the laws that governs the land. Please, can you help me with next slide? Next slide, please. Next slide. Next. Good. Right. Thank you. Now, in Nigeria generally, as we can see from the aspect of Lagos, generally land rests on the different states, as my other colleague has said. Depends on what the 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 hierarchy of government. In Abuja, generally, the FCT minister is the one in charge of allocation of lands and also uh, signs any document that pertaining land. Then it furthers down to the director of survey and mapping, is the one that also oversees any activities of land within the FCT. And from there, it boils down to all the 6 local governments or council areas, as is well in Abuja. We have about 6 council areas in Abuja that requires us to they have zonal offices. They have zonal offices where if you have any, like for example, Amak has a zonal office, Kuje area has a zonal office, Buhari area has a zonal office, Gwagwalada area has a zonal office, and other we have about 6 council areas that in Abuja. All you just need to do, if you are interested in getting a particular land, all you just need to use to walk into the council area, zonal council area headquarters and inquire for the type of land that you want. They will give you all the necessary details. But generally, we have 6 main types of land documents, where you have the physical plan of the land, the certificate of occupancy, deed of assignment, certificate of lease, the the one that you obtain from your local government, or the land use charge receipt, depending on what you obtain from in Nigeria in general. Please, next slide. Next slide. Let's go. So let's look at how we can use application on how we can assess these lands. Now, the good thing about the land in Abuja, since there are already coordinate lists of these lands that you already have in Abuja, most times you just obtain the coordinate list, and it helps you to, you can easily use the coordinates that you have and get a virtual location by once you convert the necessary coordinate to the necessary uh, geolocation points. For example, the coordinate points we have in Abuja is based on Minadatum, and you know what we have on the Google Earth is definitely on the WGS 84. So there may be need for you to convert those coordinates you obtain from the government. For that is for, let's look at from SCDA, as the case may be, convert it to the WGS 84, and all you just need to do is to go to Google Earth, launch the app, input your coordinate. It automatically takes you to where the land is. Even as a layman, you can easily go there, but do this on your own. But to avoid issues, it will be better for you to involve a surveyor to help you with this. It can even give you, it can give you a proper guide. Oh, this your land. Oh, it's located so place. Okay, it's within Amak area council. It's within Kuje area council. It's within Gwagwalada area council. It's within Buhari area council. It's within Rubochi area council. Depending on what the where area councils the. Now this application of Google Earth is quite helpful because it's like a basic method for you to identify your lands. When you have your land high resolution images that helps you to just, oh, all you just need to do, oh, I just need a point from the coordinate I obtain and I get all the necessary this thing. Access, you can easily access and analyze your points. Like you can see from that image by your right hand, those yellow lines shows the boundary points or the boundary lines of your plot. Like now, if you have obtained the coordinates of your desired land that you want to verify, nothing stops you from engaging the surveyor to plot or chart, depending on what the surveyor can do. It can also chart it for you. Using the necessary tools. The surveyor too can also plot it for you using the AutoCAD tools, so that once it does that for you, all it does is to convert those lines either into shape files or into KML files for you, and you can easily project them on the Google Earth application. As you can see on the image on your screen, you have the yellow line showing the edges of the plots. It shows that even with the coordinate of each of the plots, you can easily verify, oh, that this land, oh, that I'm going to, is it vacant? Yes. Is it not vacant? No. If there's a building on it, it means definitely the land you are buying is not vacant. That means you have to do further findings. Either you are buying from a second already somebody that has bought it before, or the level of development. But at least give you an idea that, oh, at least this person that tells me that this is where his land is, so he has fenced it, he has built it. At least you can verify from the app that, oh yes, this person is telling you something that is good. You can now further by doing, it just gives you a visual inspection. Like, oh, that if a surveyor gives you this, oh, you can have it. Oh yes, so surveyor has given me something like this. It means I know where I can have a visual inspection of where I am. I know where the plot is. I can see that, oh, definitely the person that is selling is telling me the truth, or the government is also telling me the truth. Oh, this particular land has been fenced. There's other things around it. The next slide, please. Now, after validation, that is where you can now involve the surveyor, because you have already visualized it on using the Google Earth. You can also involve, that's where you can now bring in the surveyor. The surveyor brings in his precise equipment. Now in Abuja, like I said, the coordinate list of a particular plot is already defined in the Abuja Aegis Information System catalog. All you just need is to apply for the survey, when they call it like a survey list of that plot. Or what they come, it will now come. What the Aegis now gives you, it gives you a coordinate list showing the plot number, the beacon number, and their respective coordinates, and it gives you the area of the size of the plot that you want to verify in question. Then you now pick up your equipment, you go to the nearest controls. As you can see from that, the picture there, you can see survey equipment on the existing pillar. All I just need to do is to carry out the necessary information that I need. And once I take my equipment there, the equipment takes me to exactly the very point that I have been that I've collected from the office. Next slide, please. Next. Now, to purchase a particular land in Abuja. Now, before we talk about all this purchase a particular land, there are other things that one looks into when you want to purchase a particular land, or would I say there are some do's and don'ts. Now, if for example a person that wants to sell a particular land comes to you that I have a particular land that I want to sell, the most times the people rush into buying the land without necessarily asking questions or going to the necessary office. Now, a case study of AMAC. Let me use AMAC as a case study. Somebody gives me a plot of land, for example, in Kuje, in Lugbe area, which is under AMAC. Now, I did not even bother to ask the person, oh, come on, what are the necessary documents? Every document about that land, where are they? Before even bother to even go to where the land is. Because the most of the time, most of these people that are selling land, they want to take you to the land. So you see, oh, give the app is very, very needed. And it's only the Federal Capital Territory FCTA that can give you that. There are other things that are
Okay, I think we have issues with your mic.
my mic. Okay,
Um,
that is I in are you can you hear me now?
yes, yes.
Okay, all right. Now, like I said, in Abuja, it's not currently it's not all land that have certificate of occupancy, depending on this cadastral zone that you are. Now, some cadastral zone, like for example, Wuse, Gariki, Maitama, Asokoro, those one definitely there must be a certificate of occupancy. If they don't have a certificate of occupancy, maybe the owner has not be paid the necessary ground rent and other things. So they must have a copy of certificate of occupancy. Places like Kubwa, Lugbe, um, Kurudu, um, Orozo, places like that may not have certificate of occupancy because of the nature of uh, the nature of which land is being acquired, and the agencies that are processing their own series of O. So every own local council have their own particular agencies that produce their certificate of occupancy. Then we have the land use change receipt. There are some receipts that are also necessary for land use that you must know that once you have these documents, they are very, very necessary to have. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now we have the deed of assignment. Now, the deed of assignment, most times it's within where you have estate lands. There are some estate lands within Abuja here, or where you have if someone that have sold his land is like let us say like in Abuja in Amak here, we call them the first allotee. The first allotee has a deed of assignment to give to the second allotee. But the first allotee most times does not have a deed of assignment. What the first offer, what the first allotee normally have in Abuja in Amak here is a letter of offer. But when he's transferring that land to another person, there must be a deed of assignment for the next person to have. So if you are buying a particular land in Abuja from a second maybe a second buyer or a second person, it means you must that second person must produce a deed of assignment. But if you are buying from the original owner must produce a letter of offer. Then we also have a survey plan. Survey plan is like just like a plan that we have that shows you the title of the buyer. The the they also have the under the survey plan there must be a file to show that the land has been registered, and the other things that are within the the land, and was the boundary, the bearing and distance, the coordinate, the person that signs the plan, and other things that are also embedded in the survey plan. So for the purchaser must also have a survey plan. And there's no land in Abuja that does not have a survey plan because it has already been pre-surveyed, like I said before. But even if they don't have a signed up survey plan, they will have a normal uh, just a normal site plan as they call it, which can be obtained from AGIS, Abuja Geographic Information System. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now we have the no objection certificate, depending on the particular um, zone or part of the country. Like I'm not sure this one is applicable in Abuja here because most of the lands have already been allotted their specific area. The only the only thing I know is that in Abuja is there are some places that are already marked as green area, so you are not expected to build in that green area. If there will be any need for this kind of certificate, it means maybe that green area has been converted to maybe other use. Then we have some approved certificates, which is issued by the local planning authority. Yes, definitely, you have some certificates here within Abuja here that are being produced by the local planning authority in uh, Abuja here. Like for example, in the AMAC, the planning officer gives you a like a deed plan showing your plot, but most times it doesn't really come. Doesn't It's not the first thing that comes. It just helps you to know where your plan is. Next slide, please. Now, land education documents. Now, Abuja as a capital has significantly grown, and understanding land education necessary document is crucial for sale and lawful deals as land document demand increases. Number one, certificate of occupancy. Like I said, places like Wuse, Maitama, Asokoro, definitely they will have that certificate of occupancy. There is no land within that area that will not have a certificate of occupancy. The next slide, please. Then the right of occupancy. Right now, if you look at the picture by your right up, you can see You can see a sample of a right of occupancy within Sabon Lugbe in Abuja here. This is like a sample of what the right of occupancy looks like in Abuja here. And there's no if you are working with AMAC document, this document is very, very important. It must be verified. Now, why I decided to put this one here, this particular document is a fake one. So, based on the features on this document, I decided to put it here as a sample to show that this one is fake because it did not emanate from the office. It's based from the roadside people. So, it's one of the right of occupancy I went to verify recently, and I found out that the document does not tally with what is obtained in the zonal offices of AMAC. So you can see that this occupancy is like a sample showing you that, oh, you this you still have where this document actually emanates from the zonal offices. From the down there, you can see there are some plans too that shows you how you can also get your survey plans. So survey plans, they are in Abuja here. We have layout plans. So if you are not satisfied with what the right of occupancy is showing, you can also go to the planner office and ask them to give you the layout plan of that area so that you can also have an idea. But most times it's the surveyor that does that work for you. The surveyor gives you that privilege to go to the appropriate office to find out the survey plan or the layout concerning that area. So that it can help you to verify more. This can help you in the next slide. Next slide, please. No, go back, please. All right, we have the deed of assignment. Like I said before, it's just a transfer of letter from one seller to the buyer. So that means there must be somebody that have maybe bought a particular property before. He must have this deed of assignment to transfer to the next person. And most times this one is only obtainable when you are buying from a second buyer. It's not the original land allotee may not have this deed of assignment. But if it's transferring to you, definitely you must have that. Then the consent letter definitely from the community from the family. The family must you also have a consent letter that they want to really sell their property to you. Next slide, please. Now the search report is very, very important. The search report, all search reports is actually obtained from the AGIS, Abuja Environmental Geographical Information System. What there are processes to that effect. You have to, if all these documents mentioned above are not in your application, they may not attend to you. Like the C of O, like I said, the R of O, both of them must be available for citing. If not, the report officer will not grant you that that report. Next slide, please. And like I said, we have been saying now, just to if you want to verify, these are the documents that is needed. Now for the person that is just for the first allotee, number 4 may not be needed, but for the second allotee, number 4 definitely will be needed. Now, if you are not buying from a family, or you are from a community, or definitely number 5 may not be applicable to you. There's because there's some lands, like for example, the land in Karishi, Kurudu, Orozo. These ones they may require you to have a consent because there are some lands there that are still not they're not fully captured within the Federal Capital Development Authority. But they have a scheme there actually. But once you have a consent from the community, they have the right to capture your land for you. So those are the then for the search report definitely is from ages. Without that, you cannot go. You cannot do any research or verify your documents. Next slide, please. You have talked about all these ones. Let's go to. All right, good. Let's go back now. Now let's look at this. We have talked about all this. Just emphasis. All these ones are done. So then, let's want us look at the the deed of conveyance. Under the deed of conveyance, we have where the land use for Abuja itself is being. You can see from that map. You can see the various land use where you can when you look at the legend. See the have the new.
I survey we're having
I
issues.
survey, we're having issues.
Huh?
Your mic is glitching there.
Okay, my mic. Sorry. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, clearly.
All right. Okay. Now from that land use plan map of Abuja, we have some designated areas where we have the urban area. You can see the ones that have already the central. Those ones are already taken off already. Other ones are just green, green, green. The ones that you have like the orange, that the new areas that are a little bit far away from the central. Those central areas are the ones that we have the Wuse, the Wuse, the Maitama, the Asokoro, then followed by around the barracks area. Those are where we have the Wuse. All those the central ones are the Wuse one and the Wuse. The other ones are just outside the the zones. You can see that we have Abuja here. We have there's already a land use to show you the type of.
Surveyor, we can't hear you.
Survey, we can't hear you.
Am I
Surveyor, we
okay
can't.
now?
Yes, it's okay now.
Yes.
All right. Maybe the network. Let's go to the next slide, please. All right, next slide. And verify a land in Abuja. To conduct a to conduct a to conduct a land verification in Abuja, an application for verification must be made to the appropriate authority. You have to write to Abuja Geographical Information System, and there are some things that must be involved. The plot number must be there. Like I said, you can see the name of the owner, certificate of occupancy number, and date must be there. Next slide. Then evidence of payment of legal search of 10,000 naira for residential or 20,000 naira for commercial. There must be an evidence that you must have paid, and you must be attached. A photocopy of that be attached. Then definitely certificate of occupancy. Definitely you that original. But you have to tell the person that, oh, I want to buy before I buy. I want to see the original. Then apply. Both of you will go to Abuja.
Surveyor, we can't hear you
Surveyor, we
here.
can't hear you here. I say both of, if when you go to the office for scanning, that document will be scanned. The certificate of occupancy document will be scanned to ensure that it's the original that comes from them, because there are so many certificate of occupancies that are fake, that does not emanate from ages. So before you, if the said plot has a certificate of occupancy or right of occupancy, once you do it to take it to the office, there's a scanner. They have a blue scanner that is used to scan all documents. The officer will scan the document and certify it to be correct, that it comes from the office. Then you can now go ahead and do other payments after you have been satisfied that the original document is okay. Then photocopy of your ID. Definitely you must identify yourself. And what they normally use is either international passport or your NIN card. Next slide. Back, please. Yes, apart from carrying out a search at edges, it is advisable to also check for the following. For example, if there's a probate, maybe you're buying from persons that maybe their family has been deceased and all those stuff. You have to find out if there's a probate, uh, if there's a probate certificate for them. For example, like a letter of administration from the person that is selling. If there's none, then that one most times is applicable to people that are within the town there. Or if you are buying from the corporate organization, they must have a corporate. You have to go to CAC to verify whether the document is actually the person that is selling. Next, please. Next slide, please. No, next.
Surveyor, we can't hear you.
Surveyor, we can't hear you. Now, to apart from just doing normal conduct of this, to verify, apart from what we have here, there are some processes that we need to consider. Now, let's look at it this way. Somebody gives you, like now, if you go back to that land, the picture I showed before, somebody gives you that particular uh, R of O to verify. The first thing that you do is to take that particular piece of paper to the zonal office. Example, like that one, since that one is in Amac, you go to the Amac zonal office. Then the officer there look at the records. What the thing that he checks first is if the name on the said document tallies with what they have on the register. That's number one. The second one, the plot size on that document, does it tally with what they have on the register? Number two. Now, this cadastral zone that is on that plot, does it tally with what you have on the cadastral zone? That's number three. Then they will look at the name of the officer that signed it. At that time, is it that officer that signed it? Because they will trace the date. Okay, oh, for example, if you go back to that, can we carry that slide back to that picture? That can we take the slide back. This one.
All right, good. Yes. No, no, no. Back. Good. Now, when you look at this R of O, what they normally look at the name on top. You can see the name on top on this land granted to so. That name it must be verified. That's one. This plot number you see plot so must be verified. The zone is it in that zone? Good. It must be verified. You can see you have a zonal land surveyor signature. That signature, as you see so, who signed it? There's every officer has a particular signature that it signs, and the zonal officer most times knows all the surveyor signature and the person that signs that particular. Even if he doesn't know, he will go and find out. Oh, this particular year, who signed this plan? They will not. Oh, it's a person. Then you not even if it's a new person. They will not. Sure. If the other officer says no, it's not the person's signature, it did not emanate from the offices. They have to go back and tell you, oh, okay, this person, sir, this plot, is not one. The name does not plot number are not the same. Plot size are not the same. One is not the same, not the same area.
Yes, Sophia, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. Can you go back a little? I saw something. Can you please go back a little? Good. I saw something before. No, no, no. All right, good. All right, good. Yes. This is what I want to. A regularization copy of the FCT. So it's a document that is all needed in verifying your land. Actually, not a certificate of occupancy. It's just a document to show that your land has been regularized. In Abuja, the Abuja in particular, there is no land that does not have this. Because most when during L5 first, most people once your land once it not have a registration is have this. I thought you're not trying to run away. That land is fake. Go forward a little. I saw there's a sample of a search report. Go forward a little. I saw a sample of a search report. Is it that back or front? Yeah, no, is it back? I saw one search report. I think it's back or front. I know I saw a search report back or something like that. Yeah, good, good. So when you look at that figure, you can see this is a sample of a search report that was recently done. This is the result. It shows that the certificate of so with this date of so granted to so it can mean there's when you look at down there's no it means the name of that man tallies with what we have on the system. You can see the file number that is there, the plot number, the purpose, land use, residential. You can see the CFO number, which the person has. It must tally with what this report. If there's not if the and you can see the signature and the stamp from ages. So these are the things that are very very necessary for see how to see how we can verify our landed property. So let's forge ahead. Let's forge ahead. All right, so we have talked about this one. C of O. Next. Next, 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 next slide. All right, next, 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 next. Okay, so that's all. So that's all about the. That's definitely all about how to do the search reports. But now every area council um, has a peculiarities, but all of them have similarities in a way because you can easily check if your land is if there's something wrong with the land or not. But without all these documents, without the letter of offer, there must be a letter of offer. After the letter of offer, there must be the survey plan. The survey plan must be there. The R of O must be there. In some cases, C of O, but most times there's in most AMAC paper they always have R of O, unless you are within the city center. If you are not within the city center, there must not be R of O. But if you're outside the city center, that means there is only R of O that can be obtainable. Like I said, places like Lugbe, Karishi, Orozo, Pegi, Nyanya, Karo, these kind of places, they may not likely not have a C of O. But places like Wuse, Asokoro, Maitama, Jabi, Butako, places are within the town, so they must definitely have a C of O. So those are just basically what Abuja is all about. But I just want you to know one thing, that Abuja already has a designated layout. All we just do in Abuja is just to re-establish. We are not really doing any survey. It's just re-establish and resubmit the survey plan for validation. That's only what we do here. Unlike in Lagos or Nasarawa or other places that you do proper survey, you lodge the survey, go do other things. But Abuja is quite different. Everything is already in the system.
All right, so
All I does is to do. All I does is to do is to collect the coordinate of the plot, go on ground and establish the plot, then submit the survey plan that I have done, then with a report to show that there's no difference with what was obtained from the office from what is obtained on ground. So
okay.
that's a survey.
Oh, okay, Surveyor. So we have a lot of people asking questions about
Yes.
yes. So I want to use this opportunity to thank you so much for enlightening us about how to verify our land. And I also want to appreciate the audience from every attendance. So, okay, so I'll be listing out some of the question, and this question
And
goes
this question.
across. Okay, this question goes across to Surveyor Etuk and also Surveyor Yinka. I have a first question
I have a
here.
first question here.
Okay, I have a first
Okay,
question
I have
here.
a first question here.
What could result to
What could
government
result to
demolishing the
government
land of
demolishing the
building?
land of building?
I don't know if any of the
Any,
speaker want to
when
answer this. What will result government
government
demolish my land of
demolish
building?
my
Okay,
land
so
of
before we
building.
go
Okay,
here,
so before we go here, I would like to explain
one of our speakers
one of
is
our
I
speakers
believe
is I believe
one of our AI
one of our
specialists, but
AI
we has
specialists,
been
but
able to cover
we
that
have been
for
able
us.
to
So
cover that
I
for us.
also
So
use this
I
opportunity
also
to
use this
introduce the
opportunity to
company
introduce the
GeoInfotech
company
to us.
GeoInfotech
As
first.
we are familiar with
As we are
GeoInfotech,
familiar with GeoInfotech,
also
GeoInfotech
pioneer GIS remote sensing, land surveying, and drone operation in Nigeria. So basically, what GeoInfotech does is GeoInfotech, they are basically into GIS application. Just want to scroll to the beginning of the slide and just give us an overview before we answer most of our questions here. All right. So Geoinfotech is an industry leader in developing innovative geographic information technology application in GIS, remote sensing, geodatabase management, land administration, drone technology, satellite integration, and we've provided state-of-the-art to secure geodatabase management for different agencies. And one of our portfolio is that we've operated across Nigeria in Jigawa, Kaduna, Lagos State, Abuja, Saudi Arabia. We've also operated some of our clients in Brazil and United Kingdom. We also operated in Togo, and one of our core service is land surveying and geoinformatics. That is why we are anchoring this program to enlighten people about the reason why you should verify your land before acquiring them. You don't just acquire any land. Most of this land, some of them are not valid. So verifying your land is very, very important. And drone operation is what we also do. We operate drone, we assemble drones, we also sell drones, we also offer services for drones. We render drone survey, inspection, surveillance, and mapping. And also, we also have a department in Geoinfotech that offers remote sensing and satellite mapping. We have robust of technology that offers remote sensing satellite application. We analyze this satellite data for large area analysis. And also, we offer geographic information system. We capture data related to geographic information system, and also we analyze this data, and also we map them. We also have a programming department that also creates programming GIS programs, and also we are open for free consultancy. So the essence of this whole event is to enable people to understand why it is necessary to verify your land. You see a lot of people, especially in Lagos State and Abuja, a lot of people, their land or buildings have been demolished recently. And this is because you buy land from fake people. So we notice that most people, when you build on government acquisition, and if the landowner notice that they built on government acquisition, they will try selling that land to another person. If they sell the land to another person that has built on government acquisition, that person too will sell it to another person. So it's always good that you verify your land first before buying them. And we've enlightened us about all the steps to verify your land in Lagos State. I will also enlighten you about all the steps to verify your land in Abuja. And we've enlightened you about how to acquire them in both states. So we want to throw some light to questions regarding this. I'll stop sharing, or I'll just put it on the home slide. So the first question here we have is, what could result to government demolishing my land or building? What could result? This is from Boluwatife. What could result to government demolishing my land or building? I don't know if any of the speakers want to answer this. So I'll be throwing the question to Surveyor Yinka to help us answer this question. What could result to government demolishing my land or building?
Um, that's the main one. I'll- Good afternoon, everyone. The person that asked this question probably missed the part where I took in the morning. So I hope they can hear me. Okay, the person that asked the question probably missed the part where I took in the morning. That I made an example that before buying our land at all, we should carry out due diligence, proper search before we buy land at all in the first place, except if the money that you want to transfer to the landowners is not at any money. But some people they still skip the part of carrying out due diligence searches before buying the land. One thing that I feel I'm responsible for government in relation one's property or one's building is when you build on a public facility or on waterways. When you build on waterways, because the building is just almost every part of Lagos. And a part that has been set aside for water flow when you build on it or when you build close to it, then there's no doubt that state governments will not want to like allow your building to stand. When you build on waterway, you are not only endangering your own life, you are endangering people that are close by, that are living close by, especially people that are living close to the water canal. You know, there's something we call right of way. You have to give a certain number of meters setback space for a certain facility or canal. If we are built, if government says this water path, we don't want it to be as narrow as 10. We want 20 meters, we want 30 meters, so that we leave it for the water to flow from here maybe down to the lagoon. And you feel, 30 meters is just too much. I can still manage to build in this place. After all, water is not reaching this side. And you end up building. When there is large volume of water, there's torrential rainfall, high volume of water to come. You are endangering your own life. The building you have built, it may collapse. And because water is not like having a proper channel to flow through, then it's going to affect people that are not infringing on the right of way. So this is one thing that Lagos people are going to do. If you are building, apart from checking the status of the land, it is important for you to check whether you are building close to public facilities, gas line, rail line, pipeline, road network, highway, and some other public facilities, or on canal or on waterways. Number one, to ensure that you're not building your land to block the waterway or canal. Ensure that you respect right of way. Lagos Abeokuta Expressway. When there was this this flyover in Abuja, as far back as 2016, 2015. Okay, 2015, I think 2016 they started construction of the Abuja Bridge. I was still serving then, sweating inside traffic. But what I noticed is there are some facilities around, Total Filling Station and some banks, Wema Bank, GT Bank. But there was a need for them to construct an overhead bridge and to expand the road. What they did was just to measure highway 75 meters from the center of the road to the left, 75 meters to the right. I think this is 35, 35 now. 35, 35. So the moment your building is infringing on the right of way, they will cut it down and mark where that distance is supposed to be. Pull a tape, maybe 35 meters at the other side, making 70 meters or 75 meters. Anywhere where your building is close to that highway, they break it down and they leave the remaining part for you. That's why in Abuja now, the Weber Bank used to be big and now you see the way they shrink it. They have to like find a way to patch it like that so that they can still continue. When GT Bank has left that place, they are not using it for garlic now. These are the things that can make government demolish your building, either on close to public facilities, infringing of right of way, or you have both government land can be committed land, government acquisition land. You have both government land and you thought maybe government will not come. It can come in 30 years. Someone took me, I know, fine, we practice in Lagos, but someone took me to Ogun State to go and check for the status of their land. But they've already bought. They bought like during COVID 2020. And they told me, I want to check the status. Can we cannot check this? It's Ogun State. So it fell within cargo airport. But cargo airport, when I make measurement, it was back 1.5 kilometers away from the land. But I told them sincerely, we don't know when government will come back and say, this part, we are ready to use this part. They built their cargo airports. But they said they acquired a very large expanse of land and they said it is cargo airport. I advise them, if you are going to resell, or if you are going to just fence and leave and keep, don't build. So there's a need for us to carry out searches, checks on our land before buying.
All right.
My question is, my name is John Michael. My name is John Michael. I'm a realtor. I've come across good numbers of challenges in the area of land and public demolition. So my take is that why is it that government officials, they are aware the certain area, is not for residential or is for government, but they will cut it down and sell it. Most like Lagos, Omolele, half of Omolele. They go into lands. If you are building, they come to you, they collect something amount legally. You understand? So they still be the same people that sell this land to you. And if you don't make use of this land for some money to assure about it, they still sell it to another person. So my question is that how do you know? How do you know a genuine land? Aside from, well, there are these people that come to you, like you are, it's more unfortunate. Thank you.
So that will be family life survey or income. Okay. So the question someone just is why we have such that people should not continue to lose their money, to lose their investment because of lack of information flow. So we thought there's an area, we look into the environment, we look at what are the problems that people are going through. How do we help people? How do we bridge this lack of information gap? That's one of the reasons we have this workshop. People need to be informed when you get to a certain area and the land in that area as a realtor or as someone like some of the soil, so to speak, someone that you know ordinarily, you cannot, when you come to a place like Ikeja, a plot of land in Ikeja, and he said, just pay 20 million and just want a sharp. You'll be like, that price not looking too cheap? And is there not something to be suspicious of? These are the things that we continue to look at. But as professionals, we know things that we're supposed to do. Okay, that mention, you start an example that there are some leaders that collect some money legitimately from you. And at the long run, they tell you that you should develop it on time. If you don't develop it, sell it out again. See, well, maybe I will just start it to the society in which we found ourselves. We have sold the land to a certain person. And after a year or two, this was not the best, and you're saying it to another, that's the society that we found ourselves. And Lagos is stopping each other on that. Small, yes, every small thing in Lagos, you see them, they've sold this land to another person. That's why when you buy a land, I talk about Falajomi, one real estate person through that does content online. He said you bought a land, and now after buying the land, you said you do not have money for documentation or to process documents. That it's like buying a car and explaining to the police that you still don't have money to do the papers. Nobody wants to listen to you. Nobody will listen to you at all. So when you buy a land, do the documentation. After doing the documentation, take physical possession, even if it's going to be fencing and put a gate. Sometimes I feel it may be difficult for someone to come and expect the land you want to buy. It has a gate, it has a fence, and the person they want to sell you to does not have access to the land, and you are still going to pay them money. The person is not coming from the angle of doing his own proper investigation. And if, let's say I bought a land, and I have done the survey is not enough. The surveyor must have lodged the survey that I have done, and I need to further process other documents like let's say CFO. After like having a CFO, and they have sold my land to another person, let's go to court and meet. Let's now see who is going to end up wasting this our money on the land. Because once I have the CFO, I can literally just relax. Even if government is going to take the land from me, government will come and see and call your lawyer. Let's see how much are we going to pay. Then we'll call out a real estate surveyor to come into it. Estate surveyor, come and evaluate this land. Because as today, how much is this land going to be worth with all these papers? Then I'm going to cash out big time, even from the government. So it's just we need to like information has to flow. We have to like keep ourselves aware of some certain dangers of not doing due diligence before buying the land.
What are the steps of getting the soil? It's not easy to get the soil.
Getting a CFO can take as much as a year, 2 years, or even more at
But
times.
most lands are family.
Family lands are some lands that have family receipts. The moment you're able to confirm that this family owns this certain land, then maybe probably just involve your lawyer as a real estate surveyor. You have a lawyer that works with you or probably that you engage whenever you need their services. Let them ask questions too. Let them see the receipt. Fine, these people are the original owner of the land. Then the next thing to do is to carry out some searches. Number one, chart the land. Is it free? Is it under acquisition? If it's under acquisition, can I process documents for it? Or is it committed? Is it a local area? So all these things, when the surveyor acquires data for you in the field, prepares the survey sketch or a provisional copy, which everybody knows, like just a paper, something on paper, put your name on it, maybe so Sky the company, so forth. They put your name on it. Then they go further again and apply for charting information from the Office of the Secretary General. Officially, after a week, charting information comes back to you in form of a letter, scan it and send it to you, most likely, or through your surveyor. Surveyor communicates to you. They tell you the true status of the land. Then after that, then you can now know you have like in that stage you can make a decision. Then you can go further and say, you see, is the land not falling on canal or any government facility close to any proposed. If you have been able to clear that, then you will know whether you are transferring that money or you are not. Yeah. So once they confirm that, let's not assume that all good and all well and good, you've cleared all every necessary doubts. Then you cannot pay. After paying for the land to the family, you have the land now. Let the surveyor come and now do proper survey. If he didn't do proper survey, because let's say this is a plot of land, I want to buy this. I can just come with my phone or my other just want to chat to have an idea of this. Now the proper survey will come with our differential GIS receiver, be it 4 points, or even if it's more, be it around 2 points, 8 out of it. Then you pay the surveyor for the proper survey, and then you pay Surveyors Council of Nigeria, pays Nigerian Surveyors, Lagos, pays APPSN, of private prices surveyors, some certain amount of money. Then that's when Surveyors Council of Nigeria will issue number to you through the Office of the Surveyor General, CSEC office, that's State Sovereign Ethics Committee office. They issue number to you in your name as a registered surveyor, because my details, my everything, you have it there. They issue number to you. Then you use it to sign that land. When you sign it, it carries some certain information, your name of surveyor, signature, date, second seal, the dimension of the land, starting coordinate, the name of the client, the owner of the land, and the address. After that, then you go further and send it for lodgement. They lodge it and give you evidence of lodgement at the Office of the General. After that, then you can now further process other documents like land information, then bit by bit until you get to the stage where you get your CO.
Now, you see, the main challenge is not, I'm asking this question, people get other realtors. A lot of realtors are interested in cashing out, but not wanting to know the fact behind what you want to say. It's like just what you're saying now. It is needful for us to know, even the measurement of the land. Because I think I have a friend, and once you get to your property, I looked at it side by side, end to end, we tell you how many square meters. I want to know, and I want to be in that kind of army. And once the guy come to the point, say, want to sell this place, you say, how much is it? And I said, it's 150 million. He said, 150 million. What do you call it? What do you call this payment? Is that? Say, no, this is not true. This is not true. This is it. And lo and behold, put your tape. Exactly. So I don't know if it's the spirit or I don't know. So, but I love it. I love that. So it is good for we realtors to engage ourselves in a node, so that when you are bringing in a client, it's not really about bringing your client to buy a particular space that is available. Anybody can come out. A son of a family can come out. I've seen situations of people like that. You come down with the document and say, okay, this is my father's property. I want to sell. And at the end of the day, you will land the box. So I want to know the measurement angle of it. What are the things that realtors need to know, need to have in the back of their mind when processing land for their client? Because this is your client they are bringing into the market to buy for. It's a novice. You might not know anything about land. And before you possess that property, you might now get, let me get the proper the primary fact about this land before bringing in my survey, my surveyor or whatever. But if you are able to guide him with other papers that are involved, sometimes they tell you that there is no C of O, it's only receipt and survey. And that survey, once you're buying the land with somebody's survey, there's need for it to work on your own because you are the new tenant. I mean, the new owner of the property. So there's need for it to be your own. If you want to keep that person on you're still in long thing. But there might be lapses in front. So what are we as a realtor? What are the things? What do we do? What are the steps we need to? What are the guidelines that we need to have at the back of our mind when processing? So that we realtors also get into problem. They do want to do they step into problem too. So what are the guidelines so that we cannot we should be able to have that in the mind, don't fall into that trap. So when that green light shows up or red light shows up, we just be at its back.
Thank you for the question. From my presentation, I started my presentation from even telling us the aspects of surveying that handles land titling or land title registration, which is cadastral surveying. So as realtors, we know we all want to make money, but if we are making money, ensure that you are making money and the means with which you are making the money, it is clean, it is pure, and people that you are selling to, that your customers are still going to definitely recommend you more customers. That's if you have done your assignment or if you do your assignment properly. As a realtor, we want to buy a land. We want to ensure that we're not just collecting money from customers or from clients. We want to give them the value for their money. Whatever investment they are making, we want to ensure that they enjoy their money. So the first thing first is to carry out that search. I'm still back to the search. But when you're carrying out search, most of real estate companies, they have lawyers that they engage. Even I might not, for the first time, when meeting with the family, that the real owner of the ancestral owners, they've been there, they've been natural settlers, this part, this is their land. When I'm meeting with them for the first time, the ballet or the anybody, I may not be there with the lawyer. Just have a chat with them. This is land I have. I want to buy maybe 5 hectares of land, 10 hectares of land from you. And obviously, the whole of the community, they know that Akibadi's family, this is their own part of the land. Nobody trespasses. They know, the community will know. After they have done your findings, they say, it's only receipt. How is going to take our land? Because those people, they do not really like cherish doing surveys. So they may not have survey, they may not have even site plan. Some will have site plan. But after meeting with them and you have validated that, the next thing is for a lawyer to come. The lawyer might come and meet with the family and or the chief they ask questions as well. Lawyers don't just ask questions from the family that owns the land. They, around the community, these guys just come in and ask questions randomly. There's a land that just do you have an idea of who owns the land? Are there troubles, disputes on the land? Lawyers will ask those questions and give you the information that you need. Then from there now you can now begin to engage your surveyor to come and like randomly just pick coordinates of the site. After picking coordinates, then you can begin to like chat for information, confirm that starting for information, confirm it, if it is free, if it is not, is it land you can buy, can you regularize, is it excised, can you ratify, all those things now. Then when you are satisfied all those then you can now know that okay, the next thing is to now like fence out, buy the land, fence out my own area. Then sectionalize, which is lay it out, then you begin to advertise. Because when you sell the land to one person and the person has before the person buys to be they must have trusted him with their money. You say one real estate company, this is what you do, you trust them. Please do your own due diligence so that you will not put them in trouble with their money. And by the time they buy and they maybe carry out their own check on their own, they begin to recommend you to some other clients. So,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But in a nutshell, I believe like there's something I call deed of partition. Deed of partition. When buying a land, maybe it's like 100 hectares. You want to buy like 20 for it from the family.
Okay.
Now, how do they give you deed of partition from the family? If you have a family receipt.
if they do have family receipt and they have a large area of
Yeah,
land,
that you
I think
need to get back.
anything deed is prepared by a lawyer. Right? Anything deed that is prepared by a lawyer. There are some documents that some family they have. They have the family group, they have a signer, they have witness, everything. But it has to be endorsed by a lawyer. A lawyer would like prepare the whole document that is related to what they want. I know I have deed of assignment. I think that's the larger document. Under it, there is deed of partition, there's deed of gifts, there's deed of transfer. There are so many deeds, but it has to still be endorsed by a lawyer. In fact, some deeds they register deed as lands. There are some deeds they register it. Like when I had that, I said, yes, we do register deeds. Sometimes when they sell land to you and they say this is the deed. Some deeds are registered as lands. They tell you that it's a registered deed and it's all like documented at the Ministry of Lands or Bureau of Lands. So deed of gift have someone has given me a land before that we need deed of gift. Because it was a gift, we do not have to lie that I bought it. There are deed of gift, deed of all those things, they are plenty. So cadastral is very technical, very cumbersome, very robust and broad. Till now, as a professional, I still ask people questions. People at the office of the general, my bosses, I still call them this thing. They call this thing. Please, can you explain to me what does it mean? So we continue to learn and improve ourselves. Cadastral is quite broad and complex.
Thank you very much. Is there a room for another person?
All right, thank you, so we really heard about that. So we have a question saying that can you state different authorities in charge if you want to carry out land verification in Lagos State? Different authorities in charge if you want to carry out land verification in Lagos State.
I would maybe the person must have been listening to see, if you want to carry out land verification in Lagos State, what are the authorities in charge? I'll start from step one. Before you even carry out land verification, you need few data duly acquired by your surveyor. So it's not like you just want to go to any other place and tell them, my land is in please, is it free or not free? You need to engage with surveyor. Someone that will go there to go and delineate your land for you to coordinate. You need, it's like an authority on its own. You need a surveyor to be on the site, to be the coordinate for you, whether with highly precise instruments or not, or just phone GPS. You have the coordinate. a surveyor is very important to contact for field work. Then when you are done, then you can apply to second authority, Office of the Surveyor General of the State. That's second authority. You can apply to, oh, no, let me see. You can apply to Office of the Surveyor General of the State to check. You apply, your surveyor who prepares a provisional copy for you or a sketch, site plan for you, then applies to Office of the General that want to check for the status of this land. Is it free, government acquisition, is it, and some other things like that. Then maybe after a week, they get back to you officially that this land was prepared by Surveyor Jambauda Taufik with social date and social plan number, provisional copy with social area, falls within the location, regularization, free from encumbrances and some other things like that. Then I've mentioned consulting surveyor, then carry out Office of Surveyor General, or some people even send out their documents to Ministry of Lands. They can see because Surveyor General sometimes has an office at the Bureau of Lands. That people that are working in Surveyor General, they post them there to make the work easy instead of moving up and down. So that then, in order for you to know whether land is already falling on canal, on waterway, on public facility, you may further check at physical planning. And also, just for the general, they have a database they use to check as well. Before you know it, you discover that that land is falling on one cable that is supposed to be used for social thing, and they tell you that there's a cable on that. It hasn't there. All those things like that, you need to confirm it beyond land being free or not. So public facilities don't build too close, respect the right of ways, and everybody can do.
Thank you for that question. I think we have a limited question here. So the floor is open to everyone that wants to ask a question online. You are online and you're listening to us here. And you have any question you'd like to ask, you can go ahead and say those questions. So like so your Yinka in Lagos is an election about the need for you to consult a surveyor, or if you have the survey plan of the land, you can send it to the surveyor general office, or you can also verify it from the Ministry of Lands, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and please, if you have any question, you can type it in the chat box, or you can message us on WhatsApp, or you can send your message on the chat area here online. You can send your message on the chat area here online. So I'll also open the question to everyone that's listening to us. If you have any questions regarding verifying your land, because we've seen a lot of people these days, the way they are demolishing their land, it's so sad. And you see, there was a client that contacted us last, I think, middle of this year. Came to our office and wanted to verify it, and he was about buying that land. And that land was under government. When we told him, we told him, yes, that land was under government acquisition, and that's what for money left. That's what they do. They are very good in selling that land for you. They will sell the land for you, you go ahead and pay for that land. So what most people do is they will go ahead and pay for the land. So you know that they paid for the land about, let's say, 5 million, 10 million. You notice that it's now under government acquisition. You can't get your money back. That person too will now go ahead and sell it for that person. You understand? And they keep he said, encourage it. So there's another one that happened in Lagos State University, about close to 12,000 buildings, all of them big lands. 12,000 buildings in Lagos State. But they were about demolishing all those lands. But before the government has to turn them to land, or turn all those land to rent. So they pay, I think they pay certain amount of money to renew the rent of that land. But they can't demolish about 12,000. But they demolished some that were close to the school, Lagos State University. So it's always good you verify your land. So we've answered, I think for Diana, we've answered the question in the recent surveyor, and he had to also answer that question. So if you have any question for any of the surveyors in Lagos State and Abuja, you want to verify your land, you want to know what it takes to verify your land. And I want to ask one question now. We hear some people getting confused about coordinates. So if you want to verify your land, there are certain ways to verify your land yourself before consulting a surveyor. But it's very, very important. It's of importance you consult a surveyor to guide you to properly verify this land. So we're here to talk about Google Earth. You can use Google Earth, you can use Google Maps, you can use a lot of maps. All these maps support coordinates. So you see some coordinates on survey plan. You will notice that the coordinates in survey plan they come with one coordinate. Clearly, the survey plan is just a block. So you can copy the coordinate out and convert it to decimal degrees. So what you don't do is you connect those decimal degrees, put it on the search button on Google Earth, on Google Map, and that is it. You just get your location of where that particular land is. You see some people, yes. Okay, I was saying that, for example, I don't know if we have any samples or anything I can show you. Okay, let me just share my screen now. I want to show you a sample plan. Let me just show you what I do like that. So, for example, if you open Google Earth, let's say you open map.google.com. If you open map.google.com on your system, you have something like this. And you have a survey plan of a client, all right? And you want to verify this land. So we also was enlightening us about the essence of using GIS. Google Earth is also one of the tools of GIS. Okay, you can use ArcMap, you can use ArcGIS. These are softwares, GIS enabled software. So Google Earth, anytime you have a coordinate, the coordinates will come with easting and northings. Another word for the easting and northings is longitude and latitude. Another definition for longitude and latitude is x and y. You have your longitude as your x and your latitude as your y. And also your longitude, your easting is your x, your northings is your y. So in most cases, when you are searching on Google Map, the northings, that's your latitude, comes first before your easting when you are typing the code. So let's say, for example, you have a code of, let's pick, I don't know if you have a survey plan. You have a survey plan. Okay, let me just type in any code, any coordinates here. You notice that if I type anywhere on Google Earth here, you will see a coordinate below here. If I place it on anywhere on Google Earth, you see a coordinate here. This coordinate is telling us that it is 6.734784, comma, then you have 3.406717. Now, this purpose is not to survey land, it's just to verify the location of the land using Google Earth or Google Maps. Okay, let me check survey on Linker's slide. Okay. So we have one survey plan here. I will try as much as possible to zoom in very well so that you can see this. Okay. Okay, you can see this. You can see that the coordinates is coming with one coordinate, like one coordinates unit. That's longitude and latitude. Let's see. Okay, so this coordinate is coming with one coordinate unit here, and we have trying to locate where the coordinate is. So you have the marking point of this coordinate is located somewhere here. Okay, you can see the coordinate is located somewhere here. This is the starting point. Then the next one they use to generate this coordinate is through bearing and distance. Alright. So where we have the nothings, we have it as N, and where we have the distance, we have it as E. Another name for the nothings is your Y. Another name for the distance is your X. Okay. Another name for the nothings again and distance, the nothings is your latitude here. Then the distance is your longitude. So every time you have a coordinate that shows minus, you have a coordinate that shows, for example, this N here is having 710.710347. This is in meters. This coordinate is in meters. So anyone you have as minus is showing that this is opposite of north. That means this is south. Okay, southern coordinates. That means your coordinates will type it as minus. Okay. But for the sake of this, we have it as plus. but the plus is not there since it's plus sign. All right. So what you do is you convert these coordinates to decimal degrees. So you are converting the coordinates to a different format. Okay? You have coordinates in some form of meters. You have coordinates in form of degree, minutes, and seconds. You have coordinates in form of decimal degrees. You have coordinates in form of decimal degree minutes, just degree and minutes. Okay? So all these formats comes in different with different survey plans. Okay? You have some surveyor, depending on the surveyor that does the survey plan for you. So let's say we have this survey plan, you convert this coordinates to decimal digits, then you type it here on Google Map. Okay. So whenever, let's assume you want to type these coordinates down here, you will first of all type the latitude first. That's the northeast. Before you type the eastern, that's the longitude. You type the latitude on any Google map you are using. So we have 6.734,784. Then you put comma to type the longitude. And the longitude will be 3.406,717. Okay, you have it here. Okay, so once you just press enter on this button here, it takes you directly to where the location of this coordinate is. Okay, so it is not all the time you just type the address of the survey. You can type the coordinates. So Google Earth or Google Map will direct you to where exactly that survey plan is. So just in case you want to visualize it, you want to do some lab work and check if where this particular coordinate is on the map. All right. So and again, when you verify the land, if it is under maybe it's on the swampy area or it's on the grass area, then you can now or in a flat line, you can consult a surveyor, and the surveyor can now verify properly. Surveyor has to go to the site. Most people make the mistake of just sending the survey plan. Some survey plan can be wrong, can be scam. They just put any coordinates there for you. So you have to verify the coordinates on the survey plan if it's exactly on that same location. And verifying this, you will notice that some survey plan will put something like proposed road, all those kind of things. So you verify all those things if it is existing exactly, if they are existing exactly with the way the survey plan looks like.
The plan is inside the road is inside your plan.
Exactly, the road, everything will be inside the plan. That's like a reference information.
So that means you buying the plots.
Yes.
And you're buying with the road.
The major thing is the plot. So the road is just reference that yes, this
it might not
plot
show.
is.
It might not show. Understand? When you're buying it, you're buying a plot that they give you like what's the wrong survey.
Yes.
The wrong survey covers the road also. But when the right survey shows up, the road
Yes.
along
Exactly.
inside your plot.
Very true. So these are part of the things you look out for. And I want to use the opportunity to thank everyone. I don't know if you have any questions. Okay, someone asked a question. Can this be done through ArcGIS? Yes, definitely it can be done through ArcGIS. You can do this through ArcGIS. So I'll just do a bit of a demo on how you can search a coordinates on ArcGIS. I know that some of us that are in this presentation here are also GIS enthusiasts. We're also GIS professionals, GIS specialists. So there are some things you can do with GIS as well. If you don't have internet to use Google Earth or Google Map, you can verify this, especially if you have other layers of data sets. You can verify this in ArcGIS. And there's one thing I want to remind you of. Every survey plan has an origin. Okay? You can see this survey plan. There's what we call origin. That's UTM Zone 31. So in Nigeria, we have 3 zones. We have Zone 31, Zone 32, and Zone 33. The reason why we have this zone is because the way the shape of the earth was built. This is way too far information. All right, those are the different states in Nigeria. So let's assume you want to plot these same coordinates you search on Google Map. Okay, and you want to plot this on Google Earth. Note that your Google Map is starting with latitude, then go to longitude. Remember, I said latitude, another name for latitude is your northeast. Another name for latitude again is your y. Another name for longitude is your eastings. Another name for longitude is your x. So remember, we are starting with latitude and longitude. So on our map, we'll be starting with longitude to latitude. So I'm going to copy the code of the longitude on our map here and paste it on the longitude here. Okay, and I'm going to copy the code of latitude here and paste it in the latitude section. Then we have the latitude section here. You can see that in ArcGIS, it uses a different definition to represent latitude and longitude. That's lat and long. And in Google Earth, just put the code here. But anytime you click anywhere here, Google Earth just represents, or Google Map just represents as just the numbers. But it starts with latitude. So once I press enter here, it takes me to the location. You see that it's taking me to Lagos State. The position is telling me is in Lagos State. So this is how you chart it. And if you want to mark these same coordinates with this label, you can just press this button here. And if you zoom in, or you can zoom in to where the location is, take you to where this location is. So most people, they find layers like buildings, or if you have a base map of government acquisition of Lagos State, you can just overlay it here. By that, you can just verify where this point is falling into, falling under government acquisition or not under government acquisition, or recreation area or different lands. So you can use ArcMap to chart that. I don't know if you have any question regarding this. I don't know if you have any question. Anybody wants to ask any question on verifying your land or charting your land?
On the survey, on the survey plan, on the survey plan, how do I identify on the survey plan? How do I identify the exact like we have a plan
Yes.
at time? Somebody saying a survey plan like this.
Yes.
So how do you identify
The coordinates.
the coordinates?
Okay.
And then place it on that W set.
Okay, sorry. So I want to show everybody this. I hope it's something I can show. I don't know if you can show it to the screen. We have a survey plan like this. Is it visible there? Okay. You notice that there is no coordinates on this survey plan. There is nothing like coordinates. That means the person is not even trying to give you the information of that land. So any land without a coordinate is not complete. Do you understand? Or my surveyor. Any
Yes,
land
yes.
without a coordinate is not complete. So in cases whereby you see some people, you want to buy a land and they are sending you WhatsApp picture and it's blocked. You can't even see anything again. You can't see anything on the land. So you ask them or you tell them to send the full copy. That picture that they sent you is not complete. They only sent the drawing. That is just like drawing. It's not a survey. Okay. That land is just drawing. So tell them to send the full copy. Just an example of what I showed you here. Okay, this is the full copy. It must have the origin. Even if you have a survey plan without origin, just coordinates is not complete. Okay, it must have an origin. The origin is the starting point of your measurement of where you intend to take your measurement. So on the software or any software the surveyors use or surveyor general office, what we use the surveyor general office, we use a particular origin that tallies with the survey plan, and we chart it with the coordinates. Okay, we chart it with the coordinates. So that is how you verify land.
This one is called.
The question.
The question is, can you read it out? Okay, we have some questions on YouTube. Let me try and see if I can get them. Um, okay. Okay, looking for questions here. Okay, so the question says, how do I know if a land is under government acquisition? We've answered that. I think we've answered that before.
Yes.
How can I recognize when a land is fake? I think we've answered that. Yeah, okay. So the next question says, this presentation is really interesting. I must say, please, how can I verify a land from a survey plan? I think we've answered that. How can you okay? How can you verify
Still the same.
how can I verify
Yeah,
the land from a survey plan? So like I just said, you have the coordinates. So every survey plan has a coordinate. Any survey plan that does not see coordinates there. Yes, this one is called.
In some cases, professionals
But the person did not do that fully. You notice that the person cut out
some
coordinates.
information.
Most people will cut out the coordinates. Without the coordinates, you can't know anything about the land.
That's the starting.
That is the starting point, the coordinates and the origin. So when you have the coordinates and the origin, this is your starting point. So if the surveyors use bearing and distance to get the next coordinates. So you see in this one here, we have um, this one here we have, you can see this, we have the next one as 86 degrees, then 14.96 meters. So if you position your compass to 86 degrees and you take your measuring tape to 14.96 meters, you get the next coordinates. The GPS instruments will give you the next coordinates. So in this survey plan, we don't need to be putting coordinates everywhere. We just put bearing and distance starting from the first coordinates. You understand? So this is how you get your survey plan. I think surveyor has answered their number 2. How can I recognize if a land is fake? And how do I know if my land is under government acquisition? So to know if your land is under government acquisition, first of all, you need to consult a surveyor. The surveyor is going to carry out what we call charting. Now, if you don't have a survey plan, the surveyor is going to carry out a provisional survey. You're going to go to the land and create a survey plan that looks like the original survey plan. And the result of that survey plan is what they are going to submit in the surveyor general office. And surveyor general office, what we do is we are going to do a charting for you. Do a charting of that particular survey plan to give you the result. If this land is under government acquisition or not. So the surveyors is going to help you to do that. And how can I recognize if the land is fake? I recognize from the survey plan or consult the surveyor. Right, consult a surveyor. And there's a client, a lot of clients do call us from US, UK, because they want a trusted client. And we notice that almost all of them, they keep buying or getting clients or getting realtors or how do I call it, people that sell fake lands. They even go ahead of consulting their own family members. And we notice that most people, they just want to extort their money and give them fake lands. So it is very, very important to get the coordinates of that, just the coordinates of that survey plan and the origin. Give it to a registered surveyor. And I see a lot of surveyors using phones to survey land. Very, very wrong. I see surveyors, I've seen young surveyors. Most of them, they are not, yeah, they use app. It's very wrong. You don't use an app to survey a land. You don't even use it to survey a land. You don't even use, even this Google Earth and everything. Don't confirm that, okay, because you verified on Google Earth, that means it's correct. Don't use Google Earth alone. Google Earth has error accuracy of 3 meters. So you know what 3 meters can cause in future. Google Earth has error accuracy of 3 meters. Even handheld has error accuracy of 2 meters to 1 meter. Our handset phones have error accuracy of 1 meter to 5 meters. So it's always good you consult a surveyor. You notice all these tripod stand that surveyor use, that has error accuracy of 0.0 millimeters to tell you how accurate it is. So any points that you fix on the ground is that exact same point that your land will be. Okay, and always endeavor. Most people, I see people these days, they are doing what they call drone survey. You fly drone over your land to survey the land. That gives you a realistic image of what exactly your land looks like. They attach it. That's one of the best too. You attach it with your survey plan. That gives you more evidence of that land. You understand? And you see all these land grabbers from Onile, they can easily grab your land. But when you take a drone survey of that land, it gives you more detailed information of that land. You know, survey plan will give you lines and give you proposed road and all those things. But when you take a drone survey of that land, it will give you exactly the way the land is. Any object, any shape, anything of the land, it will be so clear to your eyes. You will see exactly what you have on paper as it is on land. Yeah, I don't know if you have any question. Anybody has any question? So we'll be.
I think that's why you have the shape.
Yes. This shape for.
Yes.
No, this is not a drone survey. This is not a drone survey. This one is just normal survey plan. But this is a survey plan. A survey, let me look at it. This is a survey plan, but the person did not capture it fully. They did not send it.
Yeah, there are questions on the Google Meet.
Okay, someone is trying to look for the. I think we have somebody asking a question.
How does Zoom present looks like? Is it an image or like a survey plan?
Okay. Okay.
No.
Yeah, he's asking a question. How does a drone survey looks like? All right. So I'm going to give you an example of a drone survey we conducted. Let's look for an example of a drone survey. Okay. So this is an example of a drone survey. Okay. You can see this. This is an example of a drone survey, for example. See
Presenting this now, this is how the presentation is printed out in
in a copy or a soft copy, a hard copy or a soft copy. This is an example. You have another example here. Other example. Yes.
I want to ask, does it mean that the drone results is more accurate than the normal survey when you use the
Okay, now let me give you the answer to that. You are asking if the drone survey is more accurate than the normal survey. Just. Okay, this is the company profile. I think this will best answer an example of a drone survey. So there is a survey plan we did previously. So this is an example of a survey plan. You can see the image of the survey plan. You can see the image of the survey carried out. These are different examples of survey plan. This is another example of a survey plan. Okay. This is another example of the survey plan. I'm trying to minimize my screen so that we can see it clearly. Okay, this is an example of the survey plan. This is another example. This is another example of the survey plan. This is an example. Okay, you notice that in the survey plan, a drone survey, one thing that is beneficiary, or let me say, one thing that is of an advantage for a drone survey is that it will give you a realistic image of how the land looks like. So it's like an evidence. It's just like what they say, seeing is believing. It gives you an evidence of what this land is. And in Abuja and Lagos State, it's part of one of the requirements now that you have a drone survey of that land. Another benefit is that the drone survey can be used to do other analysis like the topography, the elevation of the land, to give you more detailed information for engineers. Anybody that wants to do any construction there, you can do cut and fill and a lot of things from that drone survey. All right. So now, drone survey to land survey, it is not like the land survey is or is less value. No, they are of equal value. It's just that the land survey gives you more detailed measurements You don't get it wrong. Land survey will give you money. That's why you see bearing and distance on your land survey. Okay, but the drone survey give you more evidence. You understand? Why your land survey give you more measurement of the dimension of that land. So now another thing that people do is that they overlay the drone land survey, that's your dimension, on the drone survey. So the same way you have the line bearing and distance, we do that too. We have the line bearing and distance, we overlay it on the realistic image of that land. So anywhere you see, maybe there's a shop, there's a mosque, anywhere around that land, you will see everything there with the right survey plan of that land. Yeah, I don't know if that has answered your question. All right, sir. I think you can give it to my. Okay.
Another question, before I used to think that there has to be, for you to use a drone survey, something must have prompted it, something must have surrounded. That is one side. Another question is that can you not use the drone survey for maybe just.
Yes, yes, definitely. You can use a drone survey for a plot of land. No, no. You can use a drone survey for a plot of land for 200 hectares, 100 hectares, one plot of land, any size. You can use a drone survey. So we have a question online. It says that is this seminar recorded? Yes, this seminar is recorded. You can get it from YouTube on our channel. You can subscribe on YouTube and you see it there. And another person asks a question: which software is best land use and land classification? Which software is best for land use and land classification? I think you want to say something like land use and land cover classification. The best software I would suggest is a remote sensing software. And a remote sensing software is you can use Idrisi or you can use ArcGIS. ArcGIS or ArcGIS Group is also very good. But ArcGIS is an hybrid software, both remote sensing and GIS. It has both of them. So you can use ArcGIS and MV. So MV, Idrisi, EDAS Imagine, ArcGIS, those are one of the best software, or Esri software, let me say Esri, ESRI, Esri software are used best for classification of remote images or satellite images or drone images, anyone. All right. Okay.
The first question I want to get a question.
Yes.
Are there some cases where maybe you could not? There is some cases where maybe you could not do all that. Like you call your surveyor, and surveyor also this kind of place. I don't think normal survey work. It's your own survey that will yes. Maybe for one reason or the other. Okay. Like okay. Now you call your surveyor that okay, surveyor present me this very big survey. And surveyor now say, God, this kind of this kind of thing that can be done here. The drone survey is not really the normal land survey. Is there, what would have yes, what would have prompted that? Like is there any reason? Or you are saying that now that your normal survey cannot work. Drone survey is the best. So is there any reason that can
So I'll pass the question to I don't know if every surveyor can answer this question too. Surveyor, if you can omit your mind, you can also answer this question. Is there any reason that you warrant someone to ask that instead of using the normal survey, if you use a drone survey, instead of using normal survey, if you use a drone survey, is there any reason? Survey or answer? Survey, can you
I didn't get the question. I didn't get the question.
Okay.
Did not get the question.
Yes. Instead of using surveyor, the surveyor will a client. As a surveyor, we are advising to land survey. We use a survey.
I didn't get you, seriously.
a surveyor, a registered surveyor will go out with a client to the site and advise the client that instead of you surveying this land, that you should use a drone survey. What would be the reason to use a drone survey instead of a normal survey plan?
Okay. Okay. Like, okay, if you are looking at Abuja case, in the case of Abuja, following the current falling of structures, so they have right now the development control insists that every estate land must have a drone survey. Like it's like a criteria right now for every estate land to have a drone survey. So now, if the best, if like now, if it's like an estate for an estate, the best way you can advise the client to do, instead of you doing a normal survey, why not just do a drone survey so that it will also meet the requirement of your submission for your building plan approval. So that would like for me that would be that most times that's what I always tell my clients. Okay, your place is already developed, or is in a developed area, or is an upcoming development area. It's best for you to just do the drone survey of the area so that you can even have a better topography. Then it can even give you a more detail than just doing the ground, because there will be there can be a case that ground cannot you cannot access that place by ground. So the best bet is to do a drone. Hope and clear.
Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah.
I have another question, officer. The question is, you were mentioning something about this Abuja re-establishment. Yes, you said the survey is not like the one they do in Lagos. They do what they do. They have up to date already in the government office. There's some engineer there, so it's re-establishment. It's more of re-establishment. So does that mean that registered surveyors not practice in Abuja? That is it only is it government surveyors that do their normal survey, just come and do establishment, then go back to the office? Do you get my question?
Surveyor, did you get the question?
Come again with the question.
You talk about re-establishment in Abuja,
Okay.
that the survey they do there is not like the one they do in Lagos State. So I want
Yes.
to know if is there, where does the registered surveyor, that normal registered surveyor, where do they come in to work at Abuja when it is re-establishment they are doing? It's not like the normal survey we're doing in Lagos. You know, they do the establishment and then they go back to the office and do whatever they do. So I feel maybe, based on your explanation, I feel it is the government officials that do the survey. Yeah. So does that mean that the surveyor, registered surveyor, don't work in Abuja? Does that mean that the
Okay.
registered surveyor
Actually,
don't work in
okay.
Abuja? There's only government surveyor since they have the data, so it is the establishment they are doing. I don't know if you get it.
Okay. The register surveyor actually does work in Abuja. Now, why I said the way it's done in Abuja is that the like now. Okay, let me put it like this. If like I have a client that have a land. Now what I need to do for the client is, one, the client does not have access to the coordinate list of the plot. He doesn't have access to that. He doesn't have access to that. Even if you give him, even if you show him the survey plan, or for example, somebody must have showed him a survey plan. But as a surveyor, as a registered surveyor, you don't depend on the survey plan that was shown to you, because one, that survey plan can be subject to errors. You know, it's human being that do it. Somebody must have just decide to draw anything that he likes, and you cannot base on what the survey plan that you see. And most times the way AGs do their own survey plan, They won't even give you with the correct coordinates. They won't give you with correct. They will not give you correct coordinates. They won't. It's you as a registered surveyor now that will now go to the land after collecting the list of coordinates of that plot. You carry out the survey. You will now come back to the office and cross check. You know, there will be some data that you have captured. You cross check what you have captured on the field. You now correspond it with the information you got from the office. Now, the office expects you to submit a report on what the survey that you have done. And as a registered surveyor, once you submit that report, that particular plot will now be revalidated based on your new survey. So it means the coordinate that was given from the office before will no longer be valid. It's what you submit that is what will not be valid. That's where the registered surveyor comes in, because you have to now sign for the client. You also sign for anybody for a person that you are working for. But most times in Abuja, the surveyor also from the office also work the hand for the client. Now it now depends on where is where. The only time that the surveyor for the office can work if that particular layout is strictly for the government of office. That particular layout will not be available for outsiders. Even for you, a surveyor, you cannot get any details, any information about that layout because it's strictly for the for example, FCDA has a layout strictly for FCDA, and it's only FCDA staffs that are permitted to go and do survey in that area. So apart from that, any other place, a private surveyor can do that. The same, yeah, private surveyor can do that. The AMAC too has some dedicated areas that are just that are within like for example, AMAC has AMAC housing estate layout. You as a private surveyor, you cannot go and do anything there. It's only the surveyor that can go to enter that estate and work. They will not allow outside surveyors to do that because they also have a surveyor within the government office. So that's the way the Abuja works. If once that particular location is government allocated, the government surveyors goes there to only do survey. But apart from that, the private surveyor has a lot of things to do within Abuja here. The only challenge for Abuja is that is also a unique survey. That's just the only. Everything has already been surveyed and the data has been generated. Unlike other places, you go there, you survey, you lodge the data, and the government accepts the data. But this one in Abuja is different. The data is already available for you to use. The coordinates, all the coordinates. If, for example, if the plot has 4 corners, all the 4 corners of the coordinates plus the beacon number is already allocated. Me as a private surveyor, I just collect the list of the if there are 5, 4, 3, no matter the number of coordinates. Then where I get my own money, I have to collect there's what they call a pillar number payment. So all those numbers that are collected from the office, I must pay for them. So that's where you collect your money from the client to pay as a registered surveyor, because the client must pay for all those numbers because they are also taking it back to the office as a report for you to get the plot to be revalidated. So that's what they normally do. You revalidate the what you have done on field. So that's where the government, the private survey comes in. But there's also government, there's also private. So that's the way it works with in Abuja. Hope I've answered the question.
Thank you so much, Surveyor. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So we'll be wrapping up for this section for now. Hopefully, we'll like to hear from you guys and in our next workshop. We are planning to do something like this, like a podcast once in a month or once in 3 months, every season on something like this. So in case you have any question, you can always reach out to us online on our Facebook, social media, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, anywhere. You can just search for GeoInfotech, or you can see I've sent the contact details on the chat section online. You can always reach out to us. I'll also put the contact details on YouTube. You can always reach out to us. You can reach out to any of our surveyors in Lagos State or Abuja. We do anything land verification, drone survey, drone mapping, land chart information, status checking of your land, and everything that relates to land analysis or land survey. Okay, so we use this opportunity to thank Surveyor Yinka. Surveyor Yinka is our head of surveying in Lagos State. He is the one that handles everything relating to our surveying department, everything relating to surveying in Lagos State, both our land survey, drone survey, everything relating to survey. He's also a drone pilot, and he's also a GIS and remote sensing expert. And we have our surveyatic in Abuja. Kudos to surveyatic in Abuja. So he's very good, and he's also one of the best surveyor that we've had in Abuja. He's also a registered surveyor. He's a registered surveyor. He's also a drone pilot. He's a GIS and remote sensing specialist. Okay. So I'll use this opportunity to thank everyone that has taken time to be patient with us. We are so sorry for the delay in time, and also we want to use this opportunity to thank you and use this token to everyone. I don't know if anybody has any word of appreciation, any word of thanks before we call it a day. Okay. We didn't get your name, sir.
John Mike
Yeah, John Mike. Okay.
is a brand.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Master.
Yes, yes.
Good afternoon once again to everyone. My name is John Michael. As earlier said, I want to appreciate this awesome company,
GeoInfotech.
GeoInfotech. It's not an easy task to put up this, but it's just like I never knew that I'd be here, but God made it possible. I want to thank the management and my teachers and everybody behind the scene who made it possible. God bless you. I look forward to see more of this, and I bless God for whatever that will be of value for you. You'll not lose it out.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we'll be calling it a wrap, and we'll see you guys in the next season, next open season. Thank you so much for listening. So we'll be closing the online chat now, and we'll be stopping the live stream as well. All right. Thank you so much for joining us.